How's it going out there, everybody? On this video right here, I want to talk to everybody about voting and what's wrong with the voting system, okay? Now, the way that this voting system been set up, it's been set up in a way to where no matter what you choose, you will have to choose the ones that choose to keep you in bondage. You see? These parties were created during the slave times. So that have always been their ultimate objective, is to keep you in bondage, meaning where they can take and handle all your power for you. The Illuminati is what they call them, the light holders, which is they're holding the light, the souls, all of your souls. And all of you are selling your souls when you go vote for these people, you see. But they got this system set up to where no matter what you vote, you're pretty much voting for them again. I don't care if they might have two different ideologies. Both of them share the ideology of keeping you in bondage. You see what I'm saying? So that's just one of the first things I wanted to point out for it, how the system is rigged up, you know, for them to keep the power, you see. And I also want to show how the system, Democratic Republicans, are mainly here to serve private groups, okay? And that's why so many people is really even into voting like that, because all this goes to their own private groups mainly. You see what I'm saying? Which is the jewelry that you wear, like gold and diamonds, no jewelry, and the Jesuits. You see what I'm saying? I can't really say the other one because, you know, they'll knock me off for talking about that jewelry that you wear. But yeah, those two groups are mainly serving those two groups. You see what I'm saying? And this is why they call it a judicial system too. You see what I'm saying? And just look how Congress and all that is set up when they're in there all meeting together. You see, look at how all this is set up. You see the candlesticks. You see all this right here, you know? And then they got the judicial system and all this kind of stuff. So you know that this is to serve these two groups, you know what I mean, that propose themselves as two great enemies amongst each other. But they also know that they have to work with each other too. Like when they say, you know, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. You see what I'm saying? So they might be enemies, but they're working with each other at the same time in order to keep the world in bondage too. You know, they're not going to forget that point. You know what I'm saying? So any type of battles or feuds they got going on is like controlled battles, controlled feuds, where they're going to still benefit out of the outcome of it no matter what when it comes to keeping you in bondage. You see what I'm saying? So that's all the first part I just want to talk about, just to show you guys, you know, that we are under religions and we are under groups that's mainly getting served. And what I'm going to show you right now is why it is that you can only choose one of them and you don't even truly have no choice or no vote. So let's go into it. So the word vote is the same as the word choice, to choose something. What is your choice? What do you choose, right? So when you're dealing with the word choice have three primary parts to it. You can choose one ideology to the left or this party, or you can choose another ideology to the right in this party, right? Or you can just say, hey, I want to be neutral and I don't want to choose either one, okay? Now, when you say this right here, what they say in this society is that if you don't vote, that's counted as no vote. But no, there's a problem with that right there. And I'm going to show you why. Because if voting, which is choice, have three primary pieces, left, right, and neutral, then that would mean that when we go vote, we need a neutral voting booth, okay? We need a neutral voting booth. And the reason why we also need a neutral voting booth is because the statistic shows that 60% of the population don't even vote. Which means what? Which means they're neutral. So if we had a neutral voting booth, then most people that don't even vote, and even some of the people that do vote, Democrat and Republican, because they felt like they didn't have no choice, would end up voting for that neutral voting booth. Okay? And this is why, and this is how they are taking your choice away. Because if you're not able to be neutral in a situation, someone took your choice away. Someone took your freedom away. Like if I got to go with these people or got to go with these people, but I can't choose myself for my own plans, that's somebody taking my freedom away. You see what I'm saying? And that's what will be in the neutral voting booth, is the people's plan, the regular citizens that's able to come together in a certain lobby and come together and shoot ideas together and bring together their own plan and put that on the ballot, right? And then people won't have to feel like they have to choose the lesser of two evils, but instead they will have a choice to choose what they put out there. You know? And since it shows that 60% of the population don't vote, which means they're neutral, that would mean that neutral voting booth will win every time. And Democrats and Republicans will never, ever again win an election. You see what I'm saying? So that's the whole point of the neutral voting booth, so the people can have their own choice to be neutral and choose their own plan for once and all. You see what I'm saying? Because in nature, everywhere in nature, there is a pivot point, a central, a middle way, a neutral point to all things, in all things in nature. So how is we going to make a voting situation up that don't have no neutral place for the neutral people to express their natural vote? You see what I'm saying? So this is where the problem lies right here. Because right now, what we have is a blue side and a red side that's slapped together like this with a padlock on the top, okay? They got a padlock on the top locking off the middle way. And that right there is not only taking your freedom, but is blocking mankind from mankind's evolution. We're not becoming the type of people or beings that we're supposed to come here. And they're just totally ignoring the fact that we are beings here. We are aliens. You know what I'm saying? They're just totally ignoring that because they don't want to deal with that kind of mind state with you, because you would know that you're not supposed to be controlled by no other creature but yourself. You see what I'm saying? So I just want everyone to look at this for what it is. If we don't make it to where the government have to put a neutral voting booth in there that will hold the people's plan, where the people can vote for their own artwork or their own plan, then we are never going to win. We don't have no vote. We don't have no choice. It's just an illusion of choice of left and right. If you can't go up the middle and make the choice to go up the middle on something, then you have no freedom, period. That's just what it is. You know? So all of this coincides with universal law and natural law anyway, to be able to be neutral in any situation. So if we're going to make an unnatural voting situation, then we need to still implement, natural alignments within it, like a neutral voting booth, if the people don't want to choose left and right. Now, like I said, the statistic shows that 60 to 70% of people do not vote. So that means that is the majority. So how is the minority of the people making votes representing the majority of the votes when you don't got a neutral voting booth for the people that feel neutral, that don't want to vote, to come and express their vote in that neutral voting booth? You see what I'm saying? So that's not going to work like that. You can't have the 25 to 30% of the population that vote, one side that win, represent the majority of the population. But no, y'all want to word it as majority of the votes. Therefore, the majority of the population went with this. But no, that's not true. That's a lie. Majority of the population, statistic-wise, show that they don't even agree with either corrupted side by not voting, period. So I hope you guys see the mix-up in all this. If you do not have a neutral voting booth, you do not have a vote. That's like me and my partner. Coming together, saying that, hey, whatever you guys want with freedom or anything like that you guys want, you guys got to come through us and ask us for it. And we're going to see if we're going to give it to you guys or not. And then the people are like, dang, man, it's kind of messed up because if we choose you, we get this, this, and this, and that, and don't get this and that. If we choose him, we don't get this and that, we get this and this. You know, and they like, now they're to the point to where they're saying, oh, we're choosing the lesser of two evils. Well, we don't got to do that no more. We ain't got to choose of the lesser of two evils no more if we got a neutral voting booth where we don't got to vote neither one of these bastards. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to show y'all here. You know? See, whenever you go into a courtroom or any type of law place, legal place, you're going to always see the scales in there, right? You're going to always see the scales. And this right here is proof to let you know that they know about the middle way, okay? You will see scales in there. And those scales will be held up by a pole in the middle. The iron rod that you rule the nations with, right? The iron rod is the centerpiece to the scales. You see what I mean? Well, they know about that centerpiece. That centerpiece will be the neutral voting booth where we don't have to choose either side. And that will balance this whole thing out to where everything is really like free. You see what I'm saying? The people's not going to deny what the people want. Not the majority of the people. The people know what they want. And these small groups that Democrat and Republican know what they want too. And that's why they want to keep it to where there ain't no neutral voting booth. You got to choose one of these clans. Period. So let's get to an understanding here. And let's get up out of this slavery, man, because I'm trying to show y'all the way out. The neutral voting booth is the underground railroad that leads to an abundance of new ideas and new freedoms. You see what I'm saying? So if we can't get a neutral voting booth, guess what? I'm not even fucking voting. I'm not voting right now. I don't give a damn. Why? Because I'll lose either motherfucking way. That's why. That's why I'm not voting. Because I'll lose either way. And because I don't have no real choice. You can't make me think that I have a choice because I got to choose you or you. That's not a choice for me. Because a lot of times as I walk through life, I always choose myself. I walk alone. I don't choose him and them and them and them and those of them. You see what I'm saying? Now, if I'm working with them on something, I'm working with them on something. But when it comes to the majority of my life, I'm just dealing with me and my own plans and what I see. You see what I'm saying? I'll talk to you about what you see. We talked about what I see. But besides that, I'm not jumping ship on myself. And that's what they got everybody out here doing. Jumping ship on themselves. Because when you really look at it, right, voting isn't nothing but a big energy harvest. And what I mean by energy harvest is we give these people our power. Our power is what empowers these people. Excuse me. Our power is what these people are calling their power. You got to understand that. Your soul is what they're calling their power. You see? So we got to understand our tax money that we're giving them is what's making them rich. Because they're promising us to create a plan that's going to fulfill us and get us closer to what we deem as freedom, which is just all an illusion anyway, because they can't give you freedom. Freedom is freedom. Freedom is nature. You already have it. Can you live with it? You see what I'm saying? Not with these motherfuckers interfering the way they're doing. We have a major interference going on in the transmission of life right now.